so far I don't see anyone missing the game because of injury. Niggles here and there, but it's part and parcel, so nothing serious so far. Well, yes, it is possible. The reason being, we have been competitive in the series so far. There have been spaces of time, you can say, where we have not played good cricket. And if you see how long the Test match has lasted, I think we have played very good cricket throughout the Test match, apart from maybe half an hour or 45 minutes of cricket where we have lacked a few things. So, if we are able to capture those situations, definitely we can turn the tide. But still, it's what's more important is to play good cricket, and I feel we are doing that. But as I said in the last press conference also, we are not crossing the line, which is vital in 5 days of Test match cricket. So we feel we are close, but at the same time, it will have to reflect in our performances. His injury, he has started bowling in the nets. He bowled during the last Test match also during the net sessions, but we want him to, we want to load him up a bit more with the bowling. But as far as just the fitness is concerned, he is fit. He's also available for selection. But Test match fitness is slightly different. You may be fit, but you have to see 5 days of load. How many overs you can bowl and what the situation may be. So you actually prepare for the worst when it comes to fitness and Test match. Well, it's something that we have already started, and that was a learning from the English series, last time when we were in England, that it's important to rotate bowlers. At times what we tend to do is to play with the same set of bowlers, and the workload keeps on increasing. And also when you play with 4 bowlers, there's slightly more workload on the fast bowler, especially in conditions like these. So there has been a conscious attempt to rotate bowlers. We don't announce the 11, so you'll have to wait, if there is changes or there's not. So but what we have felt is, it's important that we keep rotating the fast bowlers so they are fresh and we're not forced to make changes, because of injuries. So far it has been good. There have not been any formal complaints from our side, so far. So I feel, a bit of chirping is good on the field till players are not crossing their boundaries, irrespective of which side they represent, whether it's Australia or India. But that's what really makes cricket interesting. But still the guidelines needs to be followed. So so far the guidelines are followed. I'm not really bothered. Well, I don't want to say, because if I respond to that, it won't be an adequate response. Yeah. Well, first of all, the chirping has nothing to do with the performance, because as I said, there have been 30-35 minutes of bad cricket that we have played over the period of time in both the Test matches so far, and that has really cost us the Test match. And as far as the dressing room is concerned, we have got a fantastic dressing room and there has been no issues. And it goes in the media, whenever the Indian team travels and we face difficult situations, some of the journalists, they start making their own stories and putting everything forward. So it's something that we are quite used to. Well, we'll have to see who's batting the best. If there is a change, we'll see who's batting best. According to that, we'll pick up the player. And also, whether it's the addition of a bowler that makes it a 5-bowler combination, or it's still the 6 batsmen, 1 wicket keeper and 4-bowler combination, we'll have to see that. Well, the fast bowlers the mentality of our fast bowlers is slightly different, because more than 60% of our cricket we play in the subcontinent, where they don't bowl a lot of overs in Test match cricket. And for them, when they come on to bowl, they only look for one thing, and that's wicket. And at times, they try to vary too many things. But what we have tried to feature in them is the fact that when you play outside the subcontinent, especially where the Kookaburra ball is used, what becomes very important after the 25th or 30th over is to be very consistent with your line and lane, let the batsman come to you, and you have to keep bowling in the same area. So that's something that's slightly new to them. Ishant is someone who has learnt it over the period, with more exposure and with more Test cricket. He has realized what really needs to be done. Apart from him, there are a few others, who are playing Test cricket for the last maybe 1.5-2 years. But at the same time, they're still not more than 10 or 15 Test matches old. So they are also learning the trades of the game. So with more Test matches under their belt and more games outside the subcontinent, they'll get much better. But still there have been a lot of improvement when it comes to consistently hitting one areas. Well, we have tried to address the problem, because I personally feel no ball is something that's really unacceptable. The reason being, it's really in your control. 1 or 2 in a Test match, it's pretty all right, it may happen, you may say that, but if you're bowling a lot of no balls, you don't really know which ball you'll get a wicket. And imagine if there's a set batsman and you get a wicket off a no ball, in test match cricket it can be really crucial. So that's something we are addressing. We are very stern, and we want the bowlers not to bowl no balls during the net session, so that it becomes an ideal reflection of the game. So we are putting in a lot of effort, and hopefully it may not harm us in the longer run, because no ball is something that should be completely out of the game. The reason being, it's a very controllable thing. I think we have addressed it by saying stick more to the process, and to think less about the result, because ultimately it's the process that really gives you the result. So what we have spoken about is those half an hour or 45 minutes of cricket that we need to address. Other than that, I think the response of the guys have been really good. Whether we played on the first test match at Adelaide or the second one at Brisbane, the wickets were very different, but I felt overall the response was good, apart from those 30 to 45 minutes of batting. Well, yes, if you just compare the stats, it will become very interesting, because we played 5 test matches in England, and that means 10 innings. And yes, we all know Virat and him, they had a lean series over there, so 10 innings of no scoring. So you'll have to break down the stats. Yes, every batsman goes through a lean patch. Over here, he has been quite good. He got a couple of tough decisions, maybe one tough decision, but overall his response has been good. He's quite well prepared to address the situation over here, and it's a matter of time. I think in the coming 2 test matches he'll do really well. Yeah, actually that was the case, and Virat used a knife. He stabbed Shikhar. He just recovered out of that. Then we pushed him to bat. These are all stories. Marvel, maybe Warner Bros. Somebody should pick up from this, and they can make a nice movie out of it. I don't know where it comes from. The reason being, if somebody from the team has actually told you this, it will be interesting if you give us the name, saying this is the individual who said this is what happened, because his imagination is really brilliant and he should be working for one of the movie companies. He doesn't deserve to be in our dressing room, because he has entirely created something that has not been there at all. So stuff like that makes good stories for the tabloid, and maybe it helps them sell it. But as far as the reality is concerned, there has been nothing like that. About Murli Vijay, that's how he prepares. He doesn't bat too much before the day before the start of the test, or even the ODIs when he's playing. So that's how he prepares for this. नहीं, यहाँ तो जैसे हम लोग जनरली बोलते हैं, थोड़ा अगर ग्राउंड बड़ा हो तो कि 5 कदम अंदर हो, यहाँ 5 कदम का मतलब हो जाता है 10 से 15 कदम. सो दैट्स एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग. आई थिंक बॉलर्स को थोड़ा मुश्किल हो सकता है, क्योंकि पानी पीने के लिए उनको 15 कदम बाहर जाना पड़ेगा, और बॉलर रेडी हो उसके पहले 15 कदम अंदर आना पड़ेगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर हेल्पफुल विकेट होता है तो शॉर्ट लेग फील्डर को दिक्कत होती है. अगर मिड ऑन नहीं है, काफ़ी बार हमने देखा है बैट्समैन उधर मारता है तो 5-5 रन भी भाग सकते हैं बैट्समैन. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आई थिंक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग वेन्यू है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्पेक्टेटर्स यहाँ आते हैं. स्पेशली बॉक्सिंग डे में अगर आप देखें तो हाउसफुल होता है जनरली, और जैसा कि आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे अल्कोहल भी सर्व की जाती है, तो शाम तक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाता है माहौल. काफ़ी अच्छे बड़े बड़े कमेंट्स भी सुनने को मिलते हैं. बट ओवरऑल एक स्पेशल दिन होता है, और सबके लिए स्पेशल इसलिए होता है क्योंकि क्रिसमस के बाद होता है, तो स्पेक्टेटर्स भी काफ़ी एक्सपेक्टेशन के साथ आते हैं. दे वांट टू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फन, एंड ओवरऑल आई थिंक हमारे प्लेयर्स के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहेगा, क्योंकि सबने यहाँ पे बॉक्सिंग डे में मैच नहीं खेला है.